Today we're taking a look at Tera box featuring Iron Thorns EX. This deck has been a lot of fun to play into the current format. There's just so many Pokemon with abilities. Squawkabilly, Teal Mask, Ogerpon, Latias EX, to name a few. Shuts down all of those Pokemon if you're able to get it on the field, especially when you're going first. Going first with this deck is amazing. You always want to go first. With Badoo in the format currently, a lot of people do allow you to go first, so it works out even better. Taking a look at the deck list, we play the 4-4 Hoot Hoot Noctowl line for obvious reasons. We want to be able to grab all of our supporters, all of our items, stadiums, whatever we need in the current matchup. Fan Rotom to be able to get our Hoot Hoot and Noctowls. We also are able to get our Ditto with its transformative start. We're able to get whatever Pokemon we need for the matchup. Normally that ends up being Iron Thorns EX or Wellspring Ogerpon EX, but a few times I have grabbed, like Latias or something like that as well, just to be able to free pivot. We do run the Latias EX for a free pivot. We don't have any evolution Pokemon except for the Noctowl, so being able to move around our Pokemon for free is a huge bonus. We do have to run the one switch card because of Iron Thorns. Iron Thorns does shut off our own Latias, so we do run the switch to be able to move the Iron Thorns out of the active if we need to. Blood Moon Ursaluna, just the best late game sweeper card right now in the entire game. I think most decks are playing it now. I can't think of a single deck that's actually really good that doesn't have a Blood Moon Ursaluna to take the final KO at the end of a match. We play the one Teal Mask Ogerpon to be able to utilize its Teal Dance to be able to draw extra cards. We have the energy switch down here to be able to move those energy onto the preferred attacker for the turn. We have the Monkey Dory with the Dark Energy, being able to move damage counters off of your Pikachu and other Pokemon, can help set up knockouts. Just overall super strong card. You got to have Monkey Dory right now, it feels like. Sometimes it is kind of hard to get set up, but you can, Crispin, manual attach to the Monkey Dory. You could Iron Thorns, Volt Cyclone, a Dark Energy down to the Monkey Dory as well. Just overall, very, very strong card to have, and I really like having it in this deck. Terapagos EX is just a really good attacker, really good Tera neutral Pokemon. That way you can get a round like Cornerstone Ogerpon, for instance. And then obviously Iron Thorns EX is the big card here that I like to play. Being able to move energy down with Volt Cyclone allows you to power up your attackers in the background, like Pikachu, like Wellspring Ogerpon, a Blood Moon Ursaluna. You could move energies down to that if you want to. Just very, very strong initialization. The ability is just absolutely broken. Allows you to turn off Cornerstone Ogerpon, allows you to turn off Farigiraf, allows you to turn off all of those really, really annoying abilities, and can keep your opponent from setting up with their own Teal Dance, Squawkabilly, and other cards. Ditto, obvious reasons, you want to be able to grab it with Fan Rotom to be able to get your preferred starter. Most of the time, going to be that Iron Thorns. But the strongest card in the entire format right now, you got to play Pheasantipity. If you miss Pheasantipity, just like manually drawing it, you have to get it with like a Nest Ball, even at the cost of maybe another Hoot Hoot, for instance. Just having it on your bench is so, so strong to be able to draw those three cards. Mew EX is a good free pivot Pokemon. Genome hacking helps a lot into certain matchups. If I had to cut one card, it would probably be the Mew EX. The genome hacking just doesn't really feel necessary whenever you have Iron Thorns to be able to attack into the Cornerstone Ogerpon. But the restart draw 3 is very, very nice, so we have it in the deck currently. Pikachu EX just blows up, big Pokemon such as Archaladon. This is the answer to Archaladon, even with the poison. Taking one hit KO on Archaladon is very, very strong. It's hard for them to recover. Spring Ogerpon can win you a match all by itself. Saw block, retreat locking your opponent is just so, so strong. Being able to just trap them in the active while you get set up in the background is just amazing. Torrential Pump can take a knockout on 2 Dreepies, 2 Ralts, whatever your opponent's trying to set up with. You could combo pieces to, boss up the preferred target, take out 2 of their best Pokemon on the bench and in the active spot, and just kind of mess up their whole setup. Lily's Clefairy is an amazing attacker. Energy switch, manual attachment with the Psychic Energy is so, 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 so strong. This can do absurd amounts of damage. I know it only has the 190 HP, and most people only use it for the Dragapult matchup, but it's very strong into a ton of different matches, especially if you Torrential Pump into like an EX Pokemon, like Dragapult, Charizard, something with high HP, and then you can come back with the Lily's Clefairy to clean it up later at a very, very low cost. For Crispin, Crispin makes this deck go. It allows you to attach energies to your Iron Thorns, your Wellspring Ogerpon, your Pikachu. Those are your main attackers. You can also use it to build up Blood Moon Ursaluna. I usually end up attacking with Blood Moon Ursaluna whenever my opponent goes down to about 3 prizes. You can easily get 2 energies attached to your Blood Moon Ursaluna. We play 3 bosses orders. You just want to be able to attack the preferred target sometimes. One Iono, honestly, this is the one card that I would want to go up one of. I would consider cutting the Mew for the Iono, to be honest. The Mew just seems a little bit redundant at the moment. The restart doesn't always work because you just kind of sometimes get stuck with a dead hand. Professor's Research is just really, really strong. Being able to search it whenever you have an empty hand with your Jewel Seeker ability is just strong. Super, super strong. Nest Ball, Ultra Ball, for obvious reasons. You want to be able to search for your Hoot Hoot, Noctowl, Fan Rotom, and your preferred attacker. We play the Energy Switch. I really want to have 3 Energy Switch to be able to move Grass Energy off Teal Mask Ogerpon onto the preferred attacker. That's really what makes this deck so explosive, is being able to combo the Grass Energy onto the attackers that have a colorless energy in their attack cost. 2 Night Stretcher, I really... sometimes I honestly miss having a Super Rod. Having a Super Rod is very, very nice to be able to put back energies to utilize Crispin in the late game. Sometimes you can kind of overextend and you run out of energy. Happens quite a bit. Unfortunately, happens quite a bit. We have the one Buddy Buddy Poffin. Being able to search for the one Buddy Buddy Poffin with Jewel Seeker is very strong. Allows you to get 2 more Hoot Hoots. Can also allow you to get Ditto, Fan Rotom in the beginning if you are lucky enough to have it in your opening hand. There's just not enough space to be able to run more than one, but having a one of to be able to use it to set up Hoot Hoots or more damage with your Terapagos EX is just very, very strong. We already explained the switch card. It's mainly for the Iron Thorns EX whenever you're done attacking with it, or if it just kind of runs out of energy, or you can't afford to attach energy to a Pokemon on the bench, like if you don't have a preferred target, then you can switch it out with your switch card using Jewel Seeker to find it, of course. Same thing with Earthen Vessel. Find it with Jewel Seeker. That's why we play all of these one-ofs, because we have Jewel Seeker to be able to help us find them. Sparkling Crystal allows this deck to just kind of run people over sometimes. You can attack with, a single Crispin with your Pikachu, Wellspring Ogerpon, your Terapagos only needs a 1 energy attachment if they have Sparkling Crystal. Just very, very strong into the overall format to play Sparkling Crystal instead of anything else. There's just nothing else. You can't play anything else besides Sparkling Crystal. That is the ace spec. If you don't play Sparkling Crystal, you should probably just play a different deck completely. We only have 3 Area Zero. Honestly, I wish we had 4. 4 Area Zero just feels so good. Being able to find it, being able to use it. You don't always have to have a large bench size, but it is very, very nice to have. Our energy count is 4 grass energies. We do like to be able to use Teal Dance, so we need 4 grass energy to be able to do that. We have 2 electric energies, so we're able to attack with Iron Thorns and Pikachu in the same game. Dark energy for Monkey Dory, water energy for the Wellspring Ogerpon, psychic energy for the Lily Clefairy, and the metal energy for the Pikachu. Overall, this deck honestly feels really good into the current format. It has good matchups into basically everything. It can also lose to just straight up Badoo-Lock. If, say, you start like a Latias in your active and you don't get anything else and you're going first, if your opponent Badoo-Locks you, it's basically just game over. You have to have your item cards to be able to pull Pokemon out of your deck. You don't play enough draw supporters like Iono and Professor's Research to be able to draw out of a Badoo-Lock if you don't have your initial setup. That's why we like to go first and just kind of hope that we have Nest Ball, Ultra Ball, or we have the Buddy Buddy Poffin in our opening hand to be able to get our Fan Rotom to kind of get our whole setup so the Badoo-Lock doesn't matter. Once you're around the Badoo-Lock, once you have Hoot Hoots and everything on your bench, the draw support, the lack of draw support just doesn't matter as much anymore. I would like to go up to a second Iono or a second Research, probably the second Iono. This is a very, very strong card into a lot of matchups currently. Iono can just win you a match. That's how strong it is. I just don't know what I would cut. Overall, the deck list feels very, very solid. I could honestly consider cutting the entire Monkey Dory package. The only time we ever really use Monkey Dory is against Dragapult, and most of the time we just don't need it. The Monkey Dory also moves damage over on, poison damage over. It also moves over, like wall type decks, moves damage over and helps you take knockouts that way. So it's good to have in specific matchups, but a lot of the time it's just kind of a clunky card that's kind of hard to set up unless the game drags out. But that's when you really, really want to have a Monkey Dory, is when the matches are going long and are being very, very drawn out. I'm going to play 10 matches with this Terapagos Tera Box EX deck list. Make sure you guys check that video out right over here, and I'll see you there.